So it's good to see you today. I have on the stage with me, and I'm grateful to Chris Farrell, who is the chair of the Metro Housing Trust Fund Commission, as well as Councilman Colby Sledge standing with me, who represents the Metro Council on the Trust Fund Commission. I am also joined by Adrian Bond Harris, who is my senior advisor on affordable housing, as well as Morgan Mansa, who is the Barnes Fund manager. And they're all behind us. We're doing great work to move and expand and preserve our affordable housing in Nashville. I also want to take a moment and recognize a couple of other folks who I know are here, some additional Housing Trust Commissioner members. We have Arnett Bodenhammer right back there. Arnett, always great to see you. We also have Laura Tucker. Laura's there, Chris, and then Colby. We also have some of the awardees today with us. So we've got Gerald Brown from Dismiss, Inc. Thank you. We also have Habitat for Humanity over there, Danny Herron. Rebuilding Together Nashville, Caitlin. Where's Caitlin? She's back there, and her 3 board members. So thank you for bringing your board members. Woodbine Community Organization. We've got those guys here as well. Troy, always good to see you. Thank you so much. So, affordable housing still remains one of the top priorities for my administration. We know that growth and development across Davidson County is bringing lots of jobs and prosperity for many, but we also have a huge set of challenges in both the public and private sector to ensure that our working families can still continue to work and live in Davidson County. Housing, housing, housing. So let's talk about where we are today with our housing needs. You may remember back when I served on the Metro Council, we started to address this issue by creating the Barnes Fund Trust Fund for Affordable Housing. That's named after our wonderful Reverend Bill Barnes, who has been a huge advocate in our community for preserving and expanding affordable housing for our low-income and working families. Today, upon the approval of the Metro Council, we're going to see the most significant advancement in the mission of the Barnes Fund to date. When applications were opened, we received numerous proposals from nonprofit organizations that were seeking to leverage funds to create more affordable housing, and then the Barnes Fund Application Review Committee carefully reviewed those proposals to find the ones that best suited the leverage the funds that we need that we can offer through the Barnes Fund. So I want to thank all of the not-for-profit organizations that presented proposals for funding. The funds were finite, and some of the proposals require some additional work in order to meet the requirements of the fund. But the proposals showed a really incredible, significant commitment in our community to build, preserve, and maintain affordable housing in Nashville. On January 26th, the Metro Housing Trust Fund Commission reviewed and approved the recommendations for funding for the largest allocation of Barnes Fund dollars to date. So that $10 million in funding is going to leverage more than $55 million in non-Metro funds, which will result in 381 Barnes-funded units in developments that will go ahead and create an additional 407 housing units. That means in Hermitage, Woodbine Rental will be creating 265 affordable rental units that will primarily serve families and individuals that earn at or below 60% of the AMI. Services will also include a shuttle service to healthcare providers and grocers, as well as a fitness program. Funding for these services are going to be leveraged through partnerships with nonprofits and other third parties, as well as through proceeds from the sales of tax credits. In North Nashville, at 26th and Clarksville, Urban Housing Solutions will be constructing its second phase, a 63-unit mixed-use, mixed-income development, of which 37 units will be funded by the Barnes Fund. This development will provide a range of affordable options for individuals and families, along with 11 units that will be set aside for people with special housing needs. The goal of Urban Housing Solutions is to create a vibrant neighborhood hub, united and animated by arts with commercial space for potential neighborhood retail, studio space, and office space. And then over on Charlotte Pike, the local nonprofit Dismiss, Inc. will expand their scope of services to a larger population of our formerly incarcerated individuals as they transition back into society. This facility near Centennial Hospital will leverage funds from the sale of the property on Music Row to build 30 dormitory and single-room occupancy units, resulting in 56 beds for those who are seeking a second chance. In addition to these rental units, the Trust Fund Commission also approved another 43 home ownership units using 17 Metro-owned infill lots to be developed by Woodbine Community Organization and Habitat for Humanity. 6 homeowner rehab units are planned through a partnership with Rebuild Together Nashville and Hands on Nashville to assist our low-income homeowners in various repair and energy conservation projects. This represents the most significant step forward for a Metro-based initiative to provide affordable housing in Nashville. But we all know we have more to do. As part of her work with the Barnes Fund, Morgan is going to be focusing her efforts and energy on expanding the capacity of our local nonprofit organizations so that they can successfully apply for that money available in the next round of Barnes funds to help diversify our pool of applicants so that we can create even more units with the dollars that we're investing. This is on top of the work that we're already doing in other areas to promote affordable housing. Last year, when we announced the intention to put that $10 million into the Barnes Fund, we also announced an exciting partnership, a private-public partnership, with Elmington Capital to create mixed-income affordable housing units at a vacant Metro-owned property at 12th and Wedgwood in Councilman Sledge's district. When we announced that, we anticipated that we would have 138 units being built. However, the developer has actually gone back to the Planning Commission to expand that to 170 units, helping to create even more workforce housing because so many citizens want to live close to the downtown on a major transit corridor. Additionally, we're also making progress on the Housing Incentive Pilot Program, which is designed to promote primarily workforce housing in mixed income developments in Nashville. We will have an administrator for that program for MDHA and other affordable housing developments throughout the country. They recently have the ability to do that, and the Metro Council will have the first round of applicants for that program for their approval in the next coming weeks. Finally, I can't stress enough how important it is to actually preserve the low-income housing that we already have. So in April, all of us know that there's going to be a reappraisal. While this is going to result in a lower certified tax rate for Nashville, some homeowners will see their tax bills be higher. And there are 2 programs right now that are administered by the Metro Trustee, which will help ensure that certain low-income residents are not priced out of their homes because of higher property taxes. The property tax freeze applies to low-income senior citizens making $41,660 or less, and allows residents to freeze the amount of tax on their property even if they would normally be subjected to an increase due to the reappraisal. There's also a property tax relief program offered to income-qualified, elderly, disabled, or disabled veterans, which will refund a portion of the property taxes for individuals or families in need. My administration is working closely with the Metro Trustee Charlie Cardwell, as well as Property Assessor Vivian Wilhoit, and local not-for-profits and faith-based organizations to make sure that everybody out there understands that this is happening. And tomorrow, we're going to announce a greater partnership with the state's Tennessee Housing Development Agency on a new homeownership option for various areas throughout the county. In closing, the task of funding, building, preserving, and maintaining our affordable housing is a challenge. I'm so grateful to all the partners that we have in this room today and the community who have stepped up to make sure that working families and individuals can continue to be part of our thriving community. It's not easy stuff, but thankfully we've made some good progress. Thank you.